To anyone watching, she seemed blissfully unaware that this would be the last time she would ever be seen alive. The couple exited through the revolving doors, snow blowing in through the gaps as they pushed their way outside. Witnesses later said they saw Emma tilt her head back, catching snowflakes on her tongue like a child. Daniel, however, didn't share her playful mood. One valet remembered the way he tightened his coat, his eyes darting toward the harbor, as if something out there was waiting for him. Emma tugged him forward, pulling him toward the direction of the lake, her laughter echoing faintly as they disappeared into the night. Strangely, no further cameras picked them up. The streets near the harbor were covered in a thick layer of snow, and most businesses had closed early because of the worsening storm. Police later noted that if the couple had indeed walked along the waterfront, the swirling snow would have erased their footprints within minutes. It was as though Emma and Daniel had stepped out of sight and simply vanished into the frozen dark. When Daniel returned to the hotel alone hours later, the night manager noticed the absence immediately. Emma had been the more vibrant of the two, always chatting, always smiling, and her presence was hard to miss. Daniel appeared distant, his clothes damp from snow, his face pale. When asked where Emma was, he answered casually, "She had gone out for an early morning walk by herself," he claimed. His words seemed odd. The manager later recalled the storm outside, the sub-zero cold, and the fact that Emma never returned without checking back in at the front desk. The following morning, her absence became impossible to ignore. She didn't show up for breakfast, she didn't call her family back home, and no one saw her leave the hotel again. The red scarf she was last seen wearing was nowhere to be found, and her belongings were untouched in the room. Passport, wallet, even her phone still charging on the nightstand. It was as if Emma Foster had walked out into the winter night and been swallowed whole by Toronto's icy silence. By the afternoon of Emma's disappearance, panic had already begun to spread through the hotel. Daniel finally went to the front desk, his voice calm but oddly detached, reporting that his wife hadn't returned from her morning walk. Within hours, the Toronto police were contacted, and the case of a missing newlade quickly drew attention. Flyers with Emma's smiling face, the same picture from their wedding, her red scarf tied neatly around her neck, were distributed across the city. To most, she looked like the perfect bride, full of life, too vibrant to simply vanish. Police units searched the frozen harbor first, since that was where Emma was last seen heading. Officers trudged through knee-deep snow, shining flashlights across the icy waters and along the deserted walkways. Divers were put on standby, though the ice was too thick to risk sending them in immediately. A sense of dread hung over the investigation. It was one of the coldest winters in years, and survival outside for more than a few hours was nearly impossible. Still, no gloves, no hat, no red scarf, nothing belonging to Emma was found. Volunteers from the community